Hello students, we are learning English grammar and this is revision 4. In revision 4 we will be doing reported speech or direct indirect speech. So here the questions will be in direct speech and we are supposed to convert them into indirect speech. So the first question is, where do you live? She asked me. So here the indirect speech will start with she asked me. But as this is a question with a question mark, there is a word where, and where is a WH word. Now note that if this direct speech was not a question, if this was simply a statement, then here we would have used that. But because this is a question and because this has a WH word, here in this case we will not use that, we will use that WH word. So she asked me, where do you live? So here you live. Now this is actually in present tense, and as we know that while converting direct speech to indirect speech we change present tense into past tense. Also we change questions into answers, or we change interrogative sentences into declarative or assertive sentences or a statement. So here we are supposed to convert do you live into past tense and also into a statement. So let us convert the verb live into past tense. It will be lived. Now the remaining word is do. So we can change the past tense of do is did, but generally when the question has do or did, and when we try to answer that question, we generally don't use the words do or did. Like, do you live here is the question. The answer will be yes, I live here. If somebody asks me, do you like this? My answer will be yes, I like this. So if you look at the question and the question has do and the answers don't have do or did. So here we will eliminate do and we will write you live into past tense, which will be you lived. But again, you is a pronoun which is used for me. So here the correct change in the pronoun will be I. So the indirect speech will be she asked me where I lived. Full stop. This is the correct indirect speech. This is the second question. When do the children sing? I asked Tom. So the sentence will start with I asked Tom, and as this is a question and this already has a WH word, we will write that WH word here, when. So I asked Tom when. Now the rest of the sentences, do the children sing? So we are going to eliminate do here. We are going to convert sing into past tense, which will be sang. So here the indirect speech will be I asked Tom when the children sang. Full stop. Question number 3. What did they build? I asked Paul. So the indirect speech will be I asked Paul what they. Now here we have build. Build is simple past tense, and we know that simple past tense has to be converted into past perfect tense, and past perfect tense has V 3. So past perfect tense has had plus V3. So the V3 form of build is built. So here the answer will be, the indirect speech will be I asked Paul what they had built. Full stop. Question number 4. Who did they meet? Tina asked me. So the answer will be Tina asked me who. You will be changed to I. Meet will be changed to met because that is the past tense. So Tina asked me who I met. Full stop. This is the indirect speech. Next question. When will you return? She asked me. So she asked me when. Now here you will be converted to I. Will be changed to would. So she asked me when I would return. Now here there's one more change. Here instead of will you, I have used you first and then I have used will, because will you is the format of the question and we are supposed to change it into a statement, a sentence. So you will is the format of the statement, because in a statement, in a sentence, the subject comes first and then comes the verb. So here we have just changed the sequence of will you to you will. Also note that here we will not be changing return into returned. We will not be converting return into past tense, because here we have the modal verb will, and with modal verbs we always use V1. So this return will stay as return only. So the indirect speech will be she asked me when I would return. Full stop. The next question. How will they find that book? Tom asked. So Tom asked how they would find that book. This is the correct answer, and if you have been following the changes which we have been doing in the last few questions, you will understand why we have done the changes. Here we have converted will to would, and we have converted will they into they will, and we have changed will to would, and we have replaced a question mark with a full stop. That's all. Those were the only changes. Question number 7. Why will she leave so early? I asked her. So I asked her why she would leave. Now we can convert so into that early, or we can also leave it as it is. It won't make much of a difference. So this is indirect speech. Question number 8. What have you done? I asked him. I asked him what he had done. This is the correct answer. Here we have changed have you to you have. You is a pronoun, so instead of you we have written he, and instead of have we have written had, because we had to convert it into past tense. So these are the only changes. Question number 9. What has she bought? I asked Tom. I asked Tom what she had bought. This is the indirect speech. So first, instead of has she, we have written she has, and then we have converted has into had because we had to change the tense. So that's all. These are the only changes. Last question, question number 10. What have they said? She asked me. So she asked me what they had said. Full stop. So here we have changed have they into they have, and we have converted have into had because we had to change the tense. So that's all. These were the questions of revision 4. See you again in revision 5.